They're not a good basketball team. They can do all the talking and they can go have all the meetings they want and they can say, well, this team did this in a different sport. We're very capable of doing that. If you look at the talent that we have, you look at what we've been able to accomplish individually, and some of us has accomplished some great things together. They're not a good basketball team. Skip, that small lineup, and I said it, we've talked about it. It is very conducive for spreading the floor, letting guys get lanes, and can be able to shoot the basketball. LeBron has benefited the most from this small lineup. But you are at a disadvantage when it comes to defense. First of all, they don't play defense to begin with. So now when you put this in context, Skip, you don't play defense and you got smaller guys on the floor. The Kings got 70 points in the paint without a big. Okay, Marvin Bagley Jr. is really a big, and they've been trying to get rid of him for the last 3 years. And Tyrese Halliburton said after the game, we knew we could get whatever we wanted. We just had to put the ball in the basket. And Skip, they got a 14-point lead. And it seems like every time they get a lead, everybody now all of a sudden, LeBron started it off, jacking up ill-advised threes. And then if Bron does it, who else you think is going to do it? Russ like, well, there's no AD. I'm second in command. I can start jacking up bad shots. And you jack up bad shots. You don't play defense. A 14-point lead all of a sudden becomes 11, 12-point deficit. Skip, I can sum this game up for you last night. Austin Reeves got hot in the third quarter. He hits back-to-back threes. Instead of Russ coming down and trying to say, okay, go pick for him so I can get him another three, what does Russ do? He takes a three, holds the pose. His guy that's guarding him leaks out, gets a layup. He said, you know what? I got something better for you. I'm going to come back down the court. I'm going to jump up in the air. I got nowhere to go with the basketball. Turns it over. It leads to a transition three by Buddy Hield. So what was a 6-point game, now all of a sudden it's an 11-point game going into the fourth. Skip, they get it down. You know what? They whittle it down. They got it down to 4. LeBron passed the ball to Russ and just stands there. He said, watch this, y'all. He said, I want everybody at home, everybody, watch this. He passed it to Russ. What did Russ do? Break the three, they come down, get a shot, and the ball game is, for all intents and purposes, is over.
It was over.
Skip, I wish I could say, you know what? When AD gets back, everything's going to be well. Yeah. But AD wasn't playing well before he left. So when he comes back, everything isn't going to be well. Skip, I wish I can give you, say, well, you know, this, that, and that. They're not good. I can't sum it up for you in any simpler terms. They're not a good basketball team. They don't play defense. They came out scorching hot. Malik Monk was hitting threes. LeBron hit a couple. Bron was getting downhill. They were playing well. But it seems to me when they start hitting threes, not everybody just wants to come up and jack up threes, and nobody plays defense. Skip, I'm looking at the shooting chart for the Sacramento Kings. Nobody shot under 50%. Skip, how you 7 of 14, 9 of 14, 7 of 12, 5 of 8, 5 of 10, 11 of 21, 4 of 8, 3 of 4. Skip.
55%.
How you gonna be? Yeah, 55%. I mean, I've been in practices and we couldn't shoot 55%. They shooting this in an NBA game against other elite level talent. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. It doesn't get any lower than this. And I'm looking at Russ, Skip, his last 3 games. Now, this is 3 straight games in which he scored single-digit points. He's 8 of 40. Skip, 20%. Russ is shooting 20% from the field. 20. I tweeted last night, Skip, is there a quota on how many layups you can miss in a game or you can miss in a season? Because I can assure you Russell Westbrook is over that limit. He's reached the number of misses in a game that an NBA player shouldn't miss in a season. And it's bad. It's embarrassing. But, Skip, they're not good. They're not going anywhere. I don't care how many more meetings they have. I don't care what. They could have Dr. Phil. They could have Tony Robbins come in and speak. Hell, if you want to, bring Steve Harvey. He's good at pep talk. Ain't nothing happening.
He is.
Ain't nothing happening. This is who they are. This is what they are.
Are you ready to say, right here, right now, that your Lakers will miss the playoffs?
Skip,
are you ready to go there?
Skip, I told you that. I said, Skip, you talk about play-in. I said, I'm hoping they can just make they can just make the play-in. Oh, as we speak right now, they're not making it. They're not making the playoffs. Playoffs? I'm like Jim Morrissey. Playoffs? I just hope they can win another game.
Okay, I wanted to get you back on record because just to keep everybody with the biggest picture here, as Jenny read to start this topic off, the Lakers, which I had forgotten actually, were prohibitive favorites to win the West.
Correct.
Let's call it consensus, maybe not prohibitive, but consensus favorites by all the betting sites to win the Western Conference. They have plummeted to 21-21. We are more than halfway through this basketball season.
Yes.
And obviously, you did make one point that we have to get back on the record. They are now without Anthony Davis. I still consider him a top 10 player. But to your point, he has not played like a top 10 or 20 or 30 or maybe 40 player so far this year, and I don't know why.
Correct.
Low motor, low energy, low urgency, comes and goes, disappears. I don't know. And now he has disappeared for good because he's got a knee issue, and I think they're going to announce tomorrow just an update on when he might return. Okay, so before I launch on this, I would like to congratulate you first because at the end of the show yesterday, I proposed a bet to you because your Lakers were 4-point favorites at Sacramento.
Yes.
And I said, I'll take the 4 in Sacramento. And you said no. And then we tried to wrangle it and haggle it and back and forth. But you steadfastly dug in and said, no, because you have finally seen the light, which is the dark, actually, which is there is no light at the end of this tunnel.
No.
The Sacramento Kings, the Kings have owned the King this year, which is preposterous to me. It's mind-blowing to me. It's inexplicably, pathetically awful when we think about the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, once upon a time, they had battles with the Kings when they had Chris Webber and Stojakovic and all that. You know, remember the glory days of the Kings and Vlade. But
right, baby.
These are not those Kings.
No.
Yeah, these Kings had lost 5 straight. They had lost 6 of their last 7. And I'm sure most people expected LeBron and company to flex as they did early in the game and take this game over and win it by 6, 8, 10, 12 points. And it looked like that was happening in the middle of the second quarter because LeBron actually hit a 3 with 2:19 left in the second quarter that put them up 14 points. Well, how many times have we seen that this year? Big leads go poof. Okay, here we go again. I'm about to get to Russell Westbrook, but first, I can't let LeBron go blameless for last night.
No, absolutely not.
He's still, look, he's still obviously a top 5 player. You can make the case he's a top 3 player. You can also make the case he's been on an MVP kind of tear over his last, 15 games?
Yes.
20 games?
Yes, since he's been back.
Once again, he wound up with 34 more points last night. Pretty special, given that he just turned 37 in his 19th year. But what's not special is it took him 29 shots to get to 34 points. That won't work.
No.
And he's jacking up threes at by far the highest rate of his career because if we look back to the last 2 years, he took career high 6.3 threes a game. The last 2 years, those are career highs. He's all the way up at 7.9. So he's taken 8 threes a game. And last night he was feeling it. And as we always talk about, LeBron, be careful. Don't fall completely back in love with that shot because your career says you're average at best from 3. And right now he's right in the middle of pack of 3-point shooters. He's at 36.6%. It's right dead middle of all the 3-point shooters in the league. Yet, wait a second. He's 16th in the league in attempts from 3. Man, that's a lot. Last night it was way too many because he took 12 and he made only 3. But to your point, early on, it looked like he was just dominating. It looked like it was, I don't know, in his glory days, in his younger days, if we took him back 10 years ago, the start he had last night in Sacramento would have equaled a 50-point game.
Absolutely.
50,
No question.
seriously.
No question. No question.
Shannon, seriously, mid-second quarter, I'm thinking he might go for 50. The problem is he's in his 19th year. He's going to start to run out of some gas.
Right.
So here's the bottom line takeaway. As great as he is at 37, and I will give you this, he's having as great a 37-year-old, 19th year, as we've ever seen. Well, who could argue that?
Right.
But he's still, at this point, he's not capable of carrying what is a mediocre supporting cast to victory, even at Sacramento. He can't sustain. It takes 4 quarters of that. It takes 50 points for him to get them home. And he can't go cold from 3. And he went cold. And then the old nemesis bit him in the butt last night. He started missing free throws. He got that great new bang-bang free throw routine that's been stunning to me, but it fell off rhythm last night a little bit, and he was 5 of 10. Well, after a while, you can't, as a team, you can't miss 8 free throws, right?
Well, Skip, I could tell last night because he missed his first 3. He missed the first, he got fouled, he missed the first 2, came back, missed another one, made the second one, so I knew it was going to be an off night. He's definitely a rhythm free throw shooter, Skip. When he makes them early, he normally carries that throughout the game. And you're absolutely right, Skip. He cannot go blameless in this situation because I thought in the third quarter he jacked up too many threes. And you're also right in this point, Skip, is that when he gets hot like that, if you notice, Skip, like if he gets hot in the first quarter, he'll let somebody else so he can try and recuperate in the second quarter. That's where when you have a Russ, that's when Russell was supposed to come in and do damage. Okay, if he gets hot for the first half, now he's like, I'm going to chill to the third, let the third quarter chill. Okay, you guys do it. Well, when he was, like you said, when he was 27, 28, he could carry that. He getting up to the stars that he's getting up, Skip. He's having 19, 17, 20, 23 points in a half. LeBron James would count 48, 50, 52 points at the end of the game. It's just unsustainable for him to, it's like anything, Skip. It's like a runner. You might be able to run, 3, 4, 5 minute miles. I mean, 4 minute miles for like 3 or 4 miles. But as you start to age, Skip, that time start going to 4:20, 4:30, and all of a sudden it's 5 minute miles. Well, LeBron James, he just can't play at that elite level for 38, 40, 42 minutes like he once could.
And by the way, last night, the Nets made a statement at Chicago, and Kevin Durant, the best player on the planet, Kevin Durant last night scored 27 on 10 shots. LeBron scored 34 on 29 shots, just to give you some comparison.
Well,
it just
I was
takes
watching that
too
game.
Many shots.
I watched that game, Skip. I've never seen anything like that. 71-71, and the next thing you know, it's 131-81.
It's the Kyrie effect. All of a sudden, Kevin's got Kyrie back at riding shotgun, and he's like, watch this. Okay. Now we turn to the man I nicknamed long ago, Russell Westbrook. The irony of last night was only 1 turnover for Russell Westbrook, and yet he still leads the league by far in turnovers because what is he? He's still plus 19 on James Harden. But the painful irony for you is that Russell Westbrook also leads the league in minutes played by a ton. He's played 52 more minutes than anybody in the league, which is not good news. It's bad news for you and the Lakers because he is as pathetic a shooter as a point guard as we have ever seen in the history of this league. He has the worst hands and the worst shot of any point guard at a high level we've ever seen in this league.
No question.
Last night, he goes 2 for 14 from the floor, and here we go again, 0 for 5 from 3. He is now plummeted to 28.8% from 3. That ranks 150th of 154 qualified three-point shooters. It's hard to overcome that because they're going to dare him to shoot, and he has such sort of he's so defiantly delusional about how great he is that he's going to say, "You dare me? Watch this. I'll take it." Here we go again. Do you really think that's going to go?
No, I don't. I didn't. Skip, he plays what they call hope basketball. He throws it up, I hope it goes in. Skip, a lot of those shots have zero chance, zero to a very small chance of going in. And there's a reason why he always, Skip, you notice, like when they swing the ball, who's always wide open for a three? Russ. Because the help is always coming off of him because they're hoping it. They're hoping, they're praying. Make them swing the ball to him and then cut him off just don't give him a driving layup. Make him contest his layups because now the athleticism is waning and he's not able to elevate over everyone and lay the ball into the basket. So now a lot of times it's hitting the bottom of the rim or it's going way over the top because the athleticism is starting to wane and he's not fundamentally sound. Skip, you see the difference? LeBron James is technically sound, so he still can get spots and get his shot. So he's going to suffer less from his athleticism waning as opposed to a guy like Russell Westbrook who's reliant, who's been so heavily reliant on his athleticism. Kevin Durant, who's going to age gracefully because he's not reliant on athleticism. Guys that are athletic, look at Derrick Rose. Look at guys that's been very athletic, Skip, and relied so much on that. They suffer injury, they start to age, and it's hard on them.
I agree. And yet, I told you before the year started, my biggest fear for LeBron was he's an average three-point shooter. Russ is a pathetic three-point shooter and also a pathetic free throw shooter. We didn't even get to that. But what's going to start happening, I predicted, is that Russ's man will just fall back into the lane and say, "You can't come in here. I'm going to cut off your route. I'm going to close the freeway on you to the basket because if you want to make the right basketball play and kick it to him, to Westbrook, good, more power to you." So LeBron keeps trying to make the right play. And if we could see that last shot that Westbrook took, what time was it? I got it here somewhere. It was 1:07 left in the game. He had a three-point shot.
LeBron passed it to him.
Yeah, LeBron passed it to him, and it's a three to cut it to one. This is a huge shot in this game. Here's Russ. What are you thinking, Russ? And it is actually, he got a screen. And not only did he miss, but then Metu came down to the other end and made a three, and all of a sudden you're done because now it's a 7-point lead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's where you're relying on a cinch, slam dunk, first ballot Hall of Famer to make one shot where you're uncontested. You're pretty much unguarded. You can't get a better shot than that.
Right.
And all you have to do to beat the Kings is make that shot because the momentum's going to swing. Maybe LeBron can make one more play. You're back in the basketball game. And instead, it's game over with that miss and Metu's make. So now, let's turn it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I almost pulled the footage of where LeBron was going to come set a screen for Russ to let him get a shot, and he waved LeBron off. He's like, "No, I got this one. Let me have this one. Let me have this one." And he jacks him. LeBron just dropped his head.
So, what did Russ say the other day? He said, "I am allowed to miss shots, and I'm allowed to make turnovers." Well, are you allowed to miss 12 shots? No, you're not. I mean, that's just, again, defiantly delusional. You used to be Russell Westbrook, but you're not now. And if you could help on the defensive end, we would give you some break and some pass, but he doesn't help at all. So all of a sudden, LeBron's team ranked #1 in defensive efficiency just last year has plummeted to 16th in defensive efficiency. And to your point, 70 points in the paint last night, and Halliburton saying, we could just get anything we wanted. Well, your worst nightmare this year has been De'Aaron Fox because he's just too quick for even Avery Bradley.
Yes.
And if we could now see, if you would bear with me on this, I know it's just De'Aaron Fox. Could we see the shots that he made? What was it, 11 shots that he made? Yeah, 11 of 21 shots. Watch this. Watch where they come from. He made 0 threes. That was Avery Bradley, got smoked on that one. Come on, somebody. Can you guard him, Stanley? Come on. Somebody just stop ball. Just stop ball. It's a layup.
He's a
Can't
left-handed.
keep giving up layups. I know. Come on.
You can't let a guy get to his dominant hand. Skip, he's left-handed.
Yeah.
Why you keep letting him go left?
Shannon, he's 6'2". Really? These are layups.
Look at this. Look at this.
Watch this.
He's
Like,
left-handed.
really?
Get to his
really?
left.
Oh, LeBron, you got to help a little bit. You got to help a little bit. Come on. Somebody. That was Trevor Ariza. Come on. Somebody get in front of him. Malik Monk. No. Easy. Layups. It's a layup line. It's a layup drill. Mm-hmm. It's a layup parade. There's one little mid-range. He's pretty good at that. But he 0 for 2 from 3, so he didn't even really try many threes. Shannon, you're not going to win that way. You have to play a semblance of defense. Even Vogel, the first line out of his mouth, I watched his post-game live. He said, we didn't play any defense.
They
okay,
didn't.
well, if you don't play any defense, you're going to miss the playoffs. And it's just hard for me to fathom that a LeBron James team, even in year 19, that we'd be talking in the middle of the season, a little past midpoint, about missing the playoffs? Mm-hmm. Come on.
Skip, I'm not surprised because we spoke of this. We foretold of this story. It's like the wise men, Skip. The wise men used to sit around and tell of great tales of things that have happened or foreshadowing of things to come. We tried to tell everybody that would listen. Just because somebody is a great player doesn't mean they're going to mesh well with other great players. Russell Westbrook was a horrible fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I was thinking to myself, if anybody can make this work, LeBron James can make it work. But nobody thought, except the Lakers, that this was going to be a great fit. The thing that hurt the Lakers, Skip, is that the Lakers have always gone after names. You go back and look at the Lakers, Skip, when Jack Kent Cook, he used to own the Lakers. It started out with Wilt Chamberlain, and then it went to Kareem, and then it went to Shaq. You look at all the Lakers, LeBron, you look at what they go after. They go after names because it's Tinseltown. We need big names to put butts in these seats. That's why used to see the Jack Nicholson, and you see the Denzels, and you see all the great, the A-list stars sitting courtside because they had the big names. But those big names fit. They needed a Shaq. They needed a Kareem. They needed a Wilt. They did not need Russell Westbrook. They did not. There are so many guys that might not have the name that was going to be a much better fit. And I don't think they thought the name, but they forgot the fit. It's all about fit. Parts need to fit. And just because, Skip, you can get a whole bunch of parts, but it doesn't mean it's going to work on your car. Just because it's got a fancy name, a big engine ain't going to fit in the next 10. So, and that's what they got. They got a big name, but that it does not fit. And it's as simple as that, Skip.
Makes sense. Yeah,
So,
it's not
Shannon,
fitting, it's not working at all.
Yeah, Jenny, allow me to say to Shannon, friend to friend, heart to heart,
no, they know.
I pity you.
No, you don't.
Not.
You love it. You love it. I know you do. You love it.
Not.
I pity you.
Yes.
Not.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.